This morning we have a new story in our What's in a Name series. And if you haven't seen these stories before, well, our reporter Devin Haskins explores the fun or crazy stories behind how certain places earned their name. Devin is live in studio with us. And Devin, you're talking about the John Day River this morning.
Yeah, Christine, about 30 miles east of the Dalles where the John Day River empties into the Columbia. There's a spot there that helped earn the river its name. It all centers on a story of a bad encounter that left John Day literally exposed.
Stretching 147 miles through eastern Oregon, the John Day River is the longest undammed river in the state. It's a river that helped name the city of John Day and many other places with that same name. But who was John Day?
What kind of a man was John Day? We don't know a lot. There are no photos that we know of him or artists' renderings of him from the time, right?
That's Greg Shine. He's an historian that authored an article for the Oregon Encyclopedia about the life of John Day.
I picture a tall, lanky person who, was very familiar with the outdoors.
We'll go with that. Maybe clothes made from the skin of an animal. I mean, after all, he was a hunter. A hat like Daniel Boone wore, and a beard. I mean, a rugged man would have a beard, right? And he was a good hunter, too. And that's why John Jacob Astor hired him as part of the Pacific Fur Company as they headed west.
He was hired as a hunter to be part of that party to provide sustenance along the way.
As the party made their way into Idaho, there were too many in the group. So they split up and formed smaller groups. Day and another fur trader named Ramsey Crooks joined forces but soon ran into trouble when John Day himself got sick. Crooks tried to help him, but almost accidentally killed him.
He had the idea right, but had chosen the wrong routes to dig up. So it's one historian believes it was actually death camas,
which is highly toxic. Shine says a local tribe helped John Day heal and get on their way.
So this was all happening in the year 1812. And when Day and Crooks came here, they had no idea that they'd be entering a hostile area. You see, just days prior, 2 members of a local tribe had been killed by those from the Pacific Fur Company. So when that tribe saw Day and Crooks, they took out their revenge on them. Except they spared their lives, but took literally everything else.
They are stripped naked. Their guns are taken from them.
Naked as the day they were born. And with literally nothing on them, they started to head back east.
And the idea is that, forget this, we're going back to St. Louis.
A local tribe eventually helped them with clothes and food. The pair eventually spotted a ship coming downriver and waved it down. That ship was part of the Pacific Fur Company, and it picked the men up and continued heading west to Astoria.
So once he gets back to Astoria, according to the records, he comes back a changed man.
Day would spend the next several years hunting in and around the Astoria area before he died in the year 1820. And because of what happened to John Day at the mouth of the river, explorers commonly referred to it as John Day's River. It eventually took on the name of just John Day.
That's so interesting.
It is. There's a lot of interesting history. So if you think about all the... Chris, you actually brought this up to me a couple months ago and said, hey, what about John Day? Why are there 2 rivers named John Day? I mean, there's 2 rivers. There's cities, John Day, Dayville, the John Day Dam, the fossil beds. I mean, there's a lot. For the guy that really had no impact on Oregon's history, all based on that river. Yeah.
You want things named after you in this state, get really sick, take the wrong medicine, lose all your clothes.
And don't accomplish very much. Yeah.
Here's the deal, though. When we're watching these segments, I feel like we're going into history class.
Yeah.
I loved history class in high school. Devin's like my new history teacher. These series are terrific. Every one of your What's in a Name segments are always good. In fact, they earned Devin a Northwest Emmy Award just a couple of weeks ago. So we say congratulations. If you want to catch up on the series, watch all the episodes, you can just do this. Text NAME, NAME, to 503-226-5088, and we will send you back a link to watch all of Devin's stories online.
It's definitely worth a watch.